Hey everybody, Sunny here. Before we get to the show, I just remind you all where you can listen to my podcast, CasaLoud Chats. I'm on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more streaming platforms. I'm even on YouTube. With YouTube, just search for CasaLoud Chats, and every episode of my show is up there on YouTube. And now, on with the show. Everybody, and welcome to CasaLoud Chats, a podcast dedicated to Nickelodeon's The Casagrandes and the Loud House universe. And I'm your host, Sunny. And welcome to episode 36 of CasaLoud Chats. And today we have a very special episode for you guys, because we're going to be talking about the brand new Loud House special that came out, which was Ghosted, and the premiere of the Casagrandes season 2 episodes that came out as well. But I'm actually not alone in talking about these episodes today. I have a returning guest, a second time returning guest on my show. You know him from the CasaLoud Chillout sessions. It is Seren of CasaLoud Chillout sessions. Welcome back to my podcast, Seren.
I really like being on here, I'll be honest.
You're the third, this is your third time being back on my show, and I'm so happy you decided to come back on, so thank you for doing this again.
No problem.
And I've also enjoyed doing the Casa Live sessions with the guys. Like, that's been so much fun. So I can't wait till we do the next one, which will be on the 17th, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
this
going to be
weekend.
fun. Yep. We get to talk about so many fun, I say quotation marks, fun episodes that day. Yeah. And of course...
Existence is pain.
Yep. And then this episode of my show will be on his show, which is kind of ironic, you know? I'm on his show, but it's my show on his show, you know? It's like a thing. Okay. So we have a lot of things to talk about today. So are you ready to talk about some Casa news that came out today, Seren?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So let's get into some Casa news. Alright, so there's... Alright, so there wasn't a lot of news that came out, of course, since we just got new episodes of The Loud House and the Casagrandes, but this week we are getting more brand new episodes of The Loud House and the Casagrandes this week, of course, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're getting what is or is going to be the final last episodes of season 1 of Casagrandes, which are What's Love Got to Do with It and Dial M for Mustard. Seren, are you excited for these last season 1 episodes we're getting of the Casagrandes?
If I said excited, I'd be lying. Because one of them is not very exciting. It's makes me not want to exist.
Yeah, ever since the Bobby Cat episode was announced, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want it to exist, but it's happening, and we just gotta, get it done with. Maybe it'll be good. We don't know yet.
Maybe is a strong word.
At least the Dial M for Mustard episode will be good, because apparently we all found out that it's not a Ronnie and Friends episode. It's a Carl-focused episode, because he's on the title card. So that's gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we have more episodes of The Loud House with a certain episode with a certain character that I really don't want to talk about.
Yeah, we can skip over him if you want to.
Please. It's like, yes, Luna! That's the only episode we're getting this week. Just Luna. There's no other episode. There's no, Lisa episode with some other character. Nope, it's just a Luna episode. We don't need to discuss the other one. But we can't ignore it. That's the problem. It's happening. Yeah.
We can ignore it. No one has to know.
True, but we gotta talk about it in the Casa Live session, so we can't ignore it. We're gonna have to talk about it.
Yep, I've already got a good image to show for that one.
Oh boy. I think it's just gonna be all of us just raging about you-know-who.
Mm-hmm.
Just from the promo already made it look like a questionable episode with Lisa showing off flips for butt cracks.
Oh, I was hoping we could get through without just saying it outright.
I can't believe I said that with my own mouth.
Uh,
Oh my god. Ugh. But it's happening, and yeah, that combined with the Bobby Cat episode, that night's going to be quite an experience, I'll say that. For all of us. It'll be a life-changing experience.
yeah, nothing will be as bad as the four.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
bad.
we do. Well, I mean, we just had a, I guess, quote unquote, bad episode this week that we have to talk about today. What's going on with the Loud House and Casagrandes, man? Some messed up stuff. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
2020. I know these were made in 2020, probably, so they had the chance to get messed up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they're doing whatever they want, but maybe they need to, like, step back a bit and think, maybe this isn't a good idea. Maybe not.
Yeah, yeah.
But who knows? I'm sure they'll be fine. I say as I twitch my eye. Fine. Alright, so yes, those episodes sadly will be airing this Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Loud House and the Casagrandes, so don't miss them. They'll be experience, I'll say that. So let's move on to some really more better news to talk about. Something very exciting happened on last Friday before the new episodes came out. The Ronniecoln Vlogs are back! They have returned from the dead! Oh my gosh, this was a great surprise. Are you happy to see the Vlogs back? Because I am.
I am, because it felt like a 9-month void
It
filled
did.
again.
Yeah, I didn't think they were gonna come back till like next year or even ever at all. Because like after the last one, I was like, oh, well, they're going out with a bang, so they're probably not gonna do them anymore. But then they're like, hey, we're back and we're doing a Halloween one, and hopefully there'll be more. So that was a nice surprise that the vlogs are finally back.
Yeah, how many did they do before? 14?
13. This one was 14.
Okay,
So what'd you think of?
so
Because what did you think of this one? It was a Halloween special. How do you think they did on this one?
it wasn't my favorite.
Okay, why's that?
It just, honestly, it just kind of had the same Halloween stuff that you'd see in other things. It didn't try to do something different.
That's fair.
So
That's fair.
I didn't really enjoy it.
I mean, yeah, it's probably not the strongest of the vlogs because I still think number 10 is my favorite for obvious reasons. But I like that they came back with a Halloween one and just talked about what their families could be dressed up as, and as the number one Lincoln Ronnie fan out there in this fandom, it's just nice to see them just talk to each other and have fun banter. That's what I always love about the vlogs, just them being cute and stuff. And yeah, I
Hmm.
really did. I like the part where like Lincoln was talking about the family costumes, and then he showed like the scene of all them dressed as each other, and Roddy says like, oh, is that you dressed as Lily? And he just goes, I love that. It was so cute just to see him get embarrassed. Yeah, I really liked it because I like all of them. Yeah, like you, it wasn't the strongest, but now that they're back, hopefully we'll be getting this constantly. Like I know you used to check when they would upload the vlogs, so hopefully you'll keep checking to see if they're actually gonna keep updating them now, or I don't know how you were able to do that the last time.
Yeah, typically it was in a playlist. There's one private video in the playlist, so maybe that's it, maybe not.
Okay, all right, gotcha. Yeah, because the last time they had the vlogs, they were on Saturdays, and then they posted this one on Friday. And I think that's what they're gonna do because I think the reason they posted them Saturdays was because we had the Saturday premieres, which they stopped doing. Now we have the Friday premieres, so I think they're just gonna do that just to have those before the new episodes as promotion for both shows. So I think that's good.
Right, and they actually have added to their descriptions now new videos every Thursday, Friday, and Sunday.
Oh,
So they don't even do anything on Saturdays.
awesome! All right, I didn't even know they updated that. Well, thank you for telling me that. Now I know.
I
All
didn't
right.
notice it till I scrolled down.
Okay, good, good. That's good to know because I do check the updates on the YouTube page every so often to see what they upload. I just usually check around. I check every day at 10 a.m. when I wake up because I always wake up at 10 a.m. for some odd reason. I guess because of checking the YouTube page. And I'm like, where's the new video? Oh, there's no new video. Never mind. The next day they upload. So yeah, it was a great surprise. They didn't say anything about the vlogs coming back. They didn't announce anything. They're just like, hey, we're back. We're doing them. And I think maybe the reason they stopped it was because of COVID, because the voice actors couldn't like do stuff. They were out of the studio for a while. So now that they're recording from home or eventually going back to the studio, they're probably asking them to do more stuff like this. So I'm glad they're able to bring it back.
Yeah, and I think are they back? I know California's allowed film stuff to go back, so I assume that they're back in studio.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, and hopefully they upload some more, because I was so happy to get these back, because I love the vlogs, so hopefully we'll get another one this week. Alright.
Yeah.
Yep. Alright, then let's move on to some more exciting news we get to talk about. So, we talked about that there's going to be a new Casagrandes special coming out called Cursed, and for us in the US, we don't have an air date for this special yet, or we don't know when this is coming out. But a couple of days ago, I think I was on the wiki server, and they had posted, somebody just randomly posted this from Nickelodeon Australia, that there was a clip from the Casagrandes, and it said, the Casagrandes moving to the Loud House. Now, I looked at the thumbnail, and I was thinking, is this from Last Thanksgiving? And I was like, no, it's not. It's not from Last Thanksgiving. So I was able to access the clip and record it, and the Cursed is going to be another Loud House and Casagrande crossover in the Casagrandes. Isn't this exciting?
Yeah, and it's even more exciting, and people brought this up, it's even more exciting when they literally did not say a word about it being a crossover.
Yeah, like, again, we knew about the special that it's going to be Rosa thinks that Ernesto, or thinks that the city's cursed because Ernesto told her that it's cursed. But we didn't, I had this prediction, but I didn't think it was going to happen. I predicted that, like, oh, what if the Casagrandes, like, moved back to Royal Woods? And I was like, oh, there's no way they would do that. And literally the moment in the clip, they said, like, Lori's there, and she's like, why don't you guys just stay with my family? I'm like, did my prediction actually come true? And there they are. They're at the Loud House. They're going to be staying there for the weekend or however long they're staying. I guess it's the weekend because Lori said she's there for the weekend. So I guess it's only going to be for like those 2 days. We don't know yet. But it's very exciting. That's for sure. Like, I was shaking just watching that clip as I was recording it because I couldn't believe this is happening, dude. I can't believe this is actually happening,
Yeah, I had a big smile on my face the whole time I was watching it.
Like, okay, so I know I'm gonna be myself for a second, but like the moment where like, Lori's telling Lindsay and Rita that she wants them to come to the house, and they're like, oh no, we should call them. Then literally the door rings, and like you see Lincoln run down the stairs, and he's like, they're here, like he's so excited to see them. And when he opens the door, it's Ronnie Ann who answers, and she's like, hi Link, and then they all like say, hello familia. Like, that was so cute, like how like even Lincoln was excited for them to come, like it. Like, I just love that he, like, is so excited to see Ronnie in, Like, I love that they continue to, like, develop their friendship or relationship, because they had some adorable moments in this. Like, it's like they took Last Thanksgiving and were like, you didn't get enough Ronniecoln last Thanksgiving? Well, here you go. There's more Ronniecoln for you. Like, I'm so happy, man. I really am.
I think that was going to be a very big one to beat. Now, one thing I'm unsure of, have they said it's going to be a full 22-minute one, or?
I would believe so. We don't know anything about Cursed other than it's kind of a special. Like, we don't know if it's an hour or 20. I think it's 22 minutes because it's technically still part of season 1 of the Casagrandes. It's like episode 19 of the Casagrandes. So I would say it's just like a 22-minute episode.
Yeah, it's listed as full length on the wiki, so must be.
Well, the wiki doesn't know yet. The thing is, I don't trust the wiki because they updated the credits for the voice actors, and they list text still playing Lincoln, which isn't true, because I know that's Asher just from his voice. So we don't know anything about the special yet, so don't trust the wiki yet until we actually get actual information about this whatever that'll be. We don't know yet. We don't know. We don't
Probably
know. What? Oh, go
probably
ahead.
late the month. Probably late in the month. We'll
Hope
get
so.
something.
Hope so. Yeah, because like we're getting the last Casagrande episodes after this special, so we don't know when it's gonna air. Like everybody was saying November, which I guess will be true because Last Thanksgiving aired in November, so it would make sense to air it around the same time. But because we got this clip in Australia, and like I talked about the leaked Ronniecoln photo they had from like Italy, I think somewhere it's gonna get leaked. I don't know where, because like I have no idea. It's probably not gonna be in English, but it's gonna get leaked eventually. I just don't know when or how or where, but I'm gonna watch it the minute it comes out. I don't care if it's not
Yes,
in English audio, I'm just gonna watch it the minute it comes out. I don't care if it's leaked. I have to see this thing because just from that 2-minute clip, it gave us so much to look forward to. And like again, like I said with Last Thanksgiving, they fixed so much stuff with Last Thanksgiving. They gave Luann a line for once in this crossover. She got to do a pun, and I feel like that was them apologizing for Last Thanksgiving. They're like, okay, we're sorry we had to cut Luann's line. Here, we'll give her a pun. There you go. Yeah, yeah, and also like at the dinner table when they're all like sitting together, Lincoln and Ronnie are the ones sitting next to each other in the middle, and Lori and Bobby aren't even sitting next to each other. Like that's so crazy to see that Lori and Bobby are a couple. They're not even sitting next to each other, but Lincoln and Ronnie are.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
they got no food.
yeah. They ate the whole table. Like they just munched on the table. It was cute that like Ronnie was like excited about Lynn Senior's tuna casserole, even though I was like, when has she ever tried that? Was it during last Thanksgiving or just like maybe she came for a visit like some other time and we just never saw it? It was just like I never thought Ronnie would like tuna casserole. you know?
No, I mean, yeah, I think it would have happened off screen. It just kind of makes sense for that to be a off screen detail.
That's true, yeah. I did love Lincoln doing the little gum trick for Ronnie, and that was super adorable. I'm also kind of gross too. It's like, why is he chewing gum at the dinner table? But like, it was cute that he was trying to impress her with a gum trick. She was like, "Oh, you've gotten so much better, Lincoln. I've been practicing." I love how smug he was, man. He was trying to impress her. It was adorable. Like, man, I just after seeing that full clip and like we're gonna see like how the Casagrandes are gonna be like, because they're sleeping over. That's the crazy part. They're staying at the Louds and they're gonna be sleeping over in their house. Like, do you have any predictions of like who's gonna be bunking with who in the Loud House with the Casagrandes?
Huh? I've thought about it. It makes sense for Ronnie and to bunk with Lincoln. I mean, I think that's a given.
Yeah, we all want that to happen. Not like some people have said, why don't they sleep in the same bed? And I'm like, saying that sounds kind of wrong. Maybe
Yeah.
like my solution was Lincoln being a gentleman, he'd let Ronnie sleep in his bed and he'd sleep on the floor because she probably brought her sleeping bag and was like, "I'll take the floor." And he's like, "No, you're my guest. You sleep in my bed. You have Bun Bun to keep you company. I'll sleep on the floor." And she's like, "Okay, that's cool." Like I really hope that happens if they do sleep in the same room. like I could imagine Lincoln's like, "Okay, Ronnie, I'll show you up to my room," and like everybody goes, "Ooh," and he's like, "Guys,
Oh, what?
what? No, go ahead. Sorry."
I was thinking Carl might be with Lola.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, that part with Lola and Carl was so great. Like she was like, "Don't touch my stuff." "Oh, I'm gonna touch it all," and puts the crown on his head.
I do wonder what that means.
You wonder what it means?
Yeah, what does touch it all mean?
Well, he's gonna touch all her stuff because she was like, "Don't touch any of my stuff." Like he's gonna touch like her bed and her stuff. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think like Lenny and Carlota could bunk together, or
Yeah.
I mean, Lori and Bobby obviously have to bunk together somehow, and they're the same. They would be the same bed together because they're a couple. It'd be funny.
Yeah.
It'd be funny. Like the next day, they wake up, like all of them wake up together, and you see Lori and Bobby with like they're wearing each other's clothes, and like maybe someone asks Lori and Bobby, "Are you wearing each other's clothes?" And they're like, we'll tell you when you're older."
No. Oh no.
If you, I don't know, have you ever watched the Muppets 2015 show, the ABC show?
I watched one episode of that and I couldn't get into it.
Oh, there was a joke with Bunsen and Beaker where they wore each other's clothes, and Kermit asked like, "Why are you guys wearing each other's clothes?" And Bunsen said to Beaker, it's better not to tell them or explain it."
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna go with the sleepy arrangements, but it's gonna be really interesting to see like who's with who and how it's gonna work out. Like, I was also thinking it'll be kind of like a new roomie situation where maybe the Casagrandes start to become kind of bad roommates to some of the Louds, and they're like, maybe we should kick them out or something. I don't know like how they'll go, but eventually Rosa has to tell them that they can go back to the city because maybe everything's clear and stuff, and so I just don't know what's gonna happen. And I was also like, some people were also saying like, where's Sid, or maybe Ronnie will start missing the city and missing Sid and stuff because they're like not in the city right now, and maybe like she gets upset about that and wants to go back or something, but we don't know. And then like someone else was saying, "Where's Arturo during this?" Yeah, where is he? Like, no, go ahead. Sorry.
He has his own apartment, so.
Yeah, but wouldn't Rosa tell him that he's part of the family, that the entire city is cursed?
Yeah.
It just seemed, at first it felt odd that they were like cool with just running to Royal Woods to escape the curse, because if the entire city is cursed, wouldn't they tell like their friends in the apartment, Ronnie and telling Sid, they all gotta run out of the apartment or run out of the city or something, like, I mean, they'll probably explain that in the special, but it just seemed interesting that they were like Bobby was ready to just say, "Can we stay with the Louds? Can we? It's like, all right, that's cool. We'll stay with them." So I'm just so excited. Like, I don't care if this special ends up being bad or anything. Like, the fact that we're getting another crossover in the Casagrandes, Lincoln's finally getting a second cameo in the Casagrandes. It counts. It's a second cameo, it counts. So I finally get it, and we're getting a crossover in the Casagrandes, and they're all like in the Loud's house now. Like, I don't know what to say, man. I'm speechless. Like, this episode's going to be amazing. I'm telling you that.
I don't think it can be a bad episode unless they manage to squeeze everything into 11 minutes. If they do that, that will not be justice enough.
Well, I mean, Loud's Thanksgiving was 22 minutes, and I know a lot of people complained about it mainly because of the interactions that were limited. We had Lori and Bobby and Lincoln Ronnie in, but that was really it. It was mostly focused on Lori and Bobby. But already from this clip, they already delivered by giving Ronnie Kid more moments in this entire second clip than they did the last Thanksgiving. They just had Punk Loser. Then here they had a few little moments. Then the Car Lola thing was great. And like Rosa and Liz Sr. obviously. And like, oh my gosh, like Carlitos giving Rita the little picture of all of them with the stick figure and the heart, and she cried. Like, that was so adorable. Like,
yeah, that got me teary-eyed.
Yeah. Like, again, the fact that they're rooming with other... The Louds are rooming with the Casagrandes, like, it really has the potential of building on the interactions we've wanted from the Louds and the Casagrandes, not just Lori, Bobby, and Lincoln Ronnie, because we're going to get that, obviously, but, like, the other family members, we want to see that, so hopefully they can deliver on that, because right now, it looks better than last Thanksgiving, I'm going to say that. As much as I love that special, I think it looks so much better than that already, for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I just... I can't wait till the special comes out, man. I don't know when it's coming out. Hopefully it's November, or, it gets leaked in another country. I don't know when, but it's probably gonna blow our minds. Like, I saw a post that someone made on Twitter where a while ago, Isabella, the voice of Ronnie, and she made a tweet about, "I just recorded an episode of Casagrandes that's gonna make you guys freak out," or something. And they had said, what if she was talking about Cursed? And I was like, oh, That makes sense.
That's she's definitely talking about
She's
Curse.
definitely talking about Curse, that's for sure. Like, after seeing that, I was like, it has to be Curse. Like, I can imagine her, like, going to the booth and, like, getting the script, and, like, the moment she reads the script, she's like, oh, the fans are gonna lose their minds. That's for sure. And I already told, like, Nate and Omid, I have to be on their show for that episode, and we need to do a Casa Live for that episode, because we're just all gonna be screaming. We need to talk about that episode, like, on the live show for sure, because it's gonna be amazing. I just... I can't...
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm still rambling, but I'm so excited, man. I really am.
As soon as we get a date for Cursed, the same day, most likely, you'll know a date for the live.
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah. The moment we get that air date and the moment we get that title card, the hype will be real. That's for sure.
It already is real.
Oh, yeah. After that clip, man, I can't stop watching it. Like, it just... Here's the fan service, and it's like, boom. Like, it just, like, you know, because I love Horoscope. I love that episode so much. And seeing that they're still giving Ronniecoln moments after that, it feels so right, man. It does. Like... I'm so glad they didn't stop doing that. I'm so happy. I really am. Alright, so I think that's all the recent news. I was going to talk about the YouTube updates, but there hasn't been much, so I think we're just going to move on then. So for my show, we are going to take a break, and there's going to be a stop here, obviously. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the brand new Loud House special, Ghosted, and the brand new episodes of Season 2 of the Casagrandes, which are Fails for the Crypt and Bad Cluck. When we come back.
All vampires, please report to the dance floor. It's time to boogie.
Whoa!
Blah, blah, blah.
And we are back to talk about the brand new Loud House special, Ghosted, and the brand new Season 2 episodes of the Casagrandes, which are Fails for the Crypt and Bad Cluck. So let's start with the Ghosted special from the Loud House, which is Lori banishes a ghost she believes is haunting her, but when Fairway's golf team starts to struggle, she realizes she needs to bring it back to turn the team's luck around. So, Seren, I want to ask you first, because you're the guest on my show, of course. What'd you think of the Ghosted special?
I've seen some people say it wasn't very good, but I totally disagree.
Really? Why?
Because I was expecting it to be just a regular ghost that didn't really have anything to do with Fairway, but it actually had a story to it, and they had a reason to bring the ghost back. So it definitely brought the episode up for me. If it was regular Ghost, I would have just kind of forgotten about it and moved on.
I guess that's fair. You know, you did mention that there were some people didn't like this special, and sadly, I'm one of those people. I was so excited for the special after I found out it was a Click and McCloud plus Lori episode, and that's all they hyped about was like Lincoln and Clyde helping Lori with this ghost. But then the second act, I was like, okay, the first half, this is great. I love it. Like, Lincoln and Clyde helping Lori at Fairway. Great. I love that. I love Lori and Lincoln. They're my favorite sibling pairing. Although, you know, and some people have said I've overreacted on this, but I really didn't like the way Lori treated Lincoln, because she called Clyde first and said he was the brains of the Click and McCloud operation, which isn't true. She should know her own brother, the man with the plan. You know, Lincoln is the one that comes up with the plans. Clyde's just there to help out. I didn't like that. And also, like, Lori was like, oh, thank you, Clyde. And you too, Lincoln. He's like, oh, thanks, I guess. Like, I don't know. Did you think about that with Lori's kind of like, I don't know, treatment of Lincoln in this episode? Or is it just me?
I did think that she did but she did treat him kind of badly. But at the same time, it might have just been sibling messing around. I don't know.
I guess
It's kind of hard to tell.
that's fair, but I feel like that would have fit more with like season 1 Lori than season 5 Lori, you know?
Yeah, they maybe tried to give too much of that.
Yeah, cause like I loved the moment of her. The reason that she went back to Fairway was because she saw Lincoln's situation and she connected that with her situation and thanked him for getting her to have motivation to go back to school. Then all of a sudden she's treating him like nothing. Like, you know, I wish there could have been a better way to do that. I know some people were like it came off as a sibling thing. You said that too, but it just felt kind of a little mean spirited, you know. But that's just my opinion, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Little Mean Spirited, but I mean, maybe some of it was tongue in cheek, sibling interaction.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Like, yeah, I
Maybe
love.
about half and half.
True, yeah. Like the first half was great. I loved it. I was like, okay, where's the rest? And then the rest happened. To me, it after like Lincoln left, he was like, oh, we can't bring the ghosts back. We're Ghostbusters, not Ghost Frienders. You know, they brought in Lucy, and you know, I always hate to say this, but Lucy's my least favorite sibling of the Loud siblings for a reason. I just never cared for her, but you know, I'm happy for people who like Lucy. I'm glad she got a little moment with her friends and stuff. And Boris, pretty badass. You know, he was pretty cool, but I don't know. It just went up and then it went down after that for me. It felt like a hill just going up and down. It was like I enjoyed it. That's like, what happened? It felt like two completely different episodes. They could have just done two different episodes. Like, here's an episode where Lincoln and Clyde help Lori get rid of a ghost. Let admits, done. Then here's another episode where Lori has Lucy come and bring a ghost back. Done. It just seemed like two completely different episodes put into one special. It didn't seem cohesive.
Right, yeah. I can see why. So, I mean, I think I could agree with you on the fact that they could have made it 2 episodes and it be just as good, if not better.
Yeah, I just, for Lori's first special on her own, I really didn't like it. And Lori's my favorite sister, but it was really great at first and then just went downhill. And the fact that there's, ghosts that exist in the Loud House now, and the fact that this ghost haunts the school and is the reason that the college is great and that the students can play well. It's like, wait, so does the team suck then? Like, are they so bad they need a ghost to help them play? Because after Lori gets rid of the ghost, right, they all start sucking at this game and they're like, oh, we need this ghost to help us play on the team. And it's like, so none of you could actually play golf. You rely on a ghost to help you? It was just so weird, you know?
Yeah, and I think that they could have offshot to something out of the plot in the sense of they could have said, okay, the ghost isn't here anymore, so Lori is going to teach them how to golf correctly without the help of the ghost.
Yeah, because that seems to me now that Lori actually sucks at golf and isn't good at it. It was just accepted into the school because the ghost was there to help her or something. You know, I don't want to think about it that way, but it just made it seem like, well, the team stinks at what they do without this ghost being there to help them. So it seems like they're mostly cheating then.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, at the same time, Lori, I feel like if they could have done that plot offshoot and said, okay, the ghost isn't here, we're going to teach you how to golf correctly without a ghost, we've been exposed, so we're going to make you a good team without the help of this ghost, Lori would have been at that forefront because I think she can actually golf.
Yeah, that could be kind of like that Lynn episode season 3 where she had the bad basketball team and whipped them into shape to become a pretty good team. That would have been a great ending where Lori was like, you guys don't need to rely on a ghost to play golf. I can teach you guys to play. But no, she needed to bring the ghost back because the team relies on it so much and can't play at all without a ghost being there. It just felt so odd. Because it's going to make me think about Fairway too much, and every time we see it and Lori's playing golf, I'm just going to think about how she can't play without the ghost being there all the time. So, it just makes me hate Fairway more than I already do, because, she was stuck in that water hazard floor, and now she's not. I don't know what happened to that continuity. What's that again? Right, Loud House? Still gonna keep that up. Yeah. Do you have any other final thoughts on Ghosted?
No, but I mean, I do agree that it could have been handled better, and it will change the dynamic of how that storyline is perceived. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, unless they, again, continuity What's That, they don't bring this up ever again.
Yeah,
but,
if they bring it up, it will be in 5 years.
Oh, yeah. I'll be like, I was right all along. Yeah, so I was so excited for it, and yeah, it definitely disappointed me. But, I've heard some people that really did like it. And if you like the special, totally fine. Like, that's cool, man. Like, I'm really happy you did. But for me, boy, it was the biggest disappointment I had that night. That I really did not enjoy it after the first half. So, yeah. All right, let's move on. Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry.
I've always done this because, I've been in so many communities where they overhype stuff and it just never lives up to that hype. I have a minimum hype level or like a middle of the line hype level, and then I go off of that, and then I'm typically more than less of the time I'm not really disappointed.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that with Loud House now because I've learned that with Loud House and Casagrandes, you can't have super high expectations because once you do, they'll go down, and I'm probably going to try to do that for Curse because boy, that has the highest of expectations for me. But I'm going to try to at least enjoy it for what it is and not get upset if anything screws up, but they can't screw that up. But this was like, I was hyped, but I didn't have expectations. I was just like, I wanted to enjoy it more than I didn't, I actually felt like I was disappointed because I didn't have expectations. I just felt like, oh, that happened. All right, move on.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the Casagrandes. We finally have premiered season 2 of the Casagrandes. Isn't that exciting? We're finally in season 2 of the spin-off show. That's so exciting, right?
Yeah, and it does feel a little weird, if I may say, that it does feel a little weird that we're airing season 2 episode 1 before season 1 episode 20.
Yeah, but that's Nick and their scheduling, I guess, They wanted to premiere this with Ghosted because they wanted to do Halloween episodes for Nickelodeon, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I guess.
So let's start with Fails from the Crypt, which is the kids try to break a local record for staying in the cemetery overnight. So, of course, we did get a sneak peek of this episode a while back when season 3 was announced, so it was really cool to get that before the episode actually premiered. But, Seren, what did you think of Fails from the Crypt?
I, quite honestly, loved it.
Why's that?
And it's because, first of all, the very subtle changes in the art style were cool to see. Mainly when they were under the tent. I was surprised that they changed it a little bit with the more shading and everything.
Yeah.
And it felt right. For the mood of the episode.
Absolutely. Like, the backgrounds and the shading. I love shading because, of course, I'm an artist. So, we got the title cards, too. And, the Ghosted one, pretty standard Loud House style. But then we had Fails with the Crypt. And that shading, oh, it's beautiful. And they did in the actual episode, with the shading on their faces and stuff while in the tent. That was so well done.
If they did that more, I would not be opposed to it. It really fit the art style well.
Absolutely. The Casagrandes, they want to keep with the Loud House comic style, but they really push more towards, really expanding on what they can do with the art style and the character expression and just the lighting and movement. This episode just felt like a Halloween episode. Everything about it was gorgeous.
Yeah, definitely.
And I really... oh, no, go ahead, sorry.
And the storyline itself, another one of those curveballs that personally I wasn't expecting, because the Fearsome Four, I think is what they were called.
Yes.
They were actually Abuelo, Vito, and Sergio.
Yeah.
That was kind of a curveball for me. I wasn't actually expecting that.
I was. I knew it was Rosa and Hector. Like, I didn't expect Vito and Sergio, but I knew it would be Rosa and Hector who would scare them. Because Rosa's done that in the past. In Monster Cash, she scared Carl into giving everybody's money back. So she's done that
Yeah.
before, and I didn't like that because she also scared Maria and Carlos when they were younger. So why are they doing that? It's just strange.
It's the Casagrande thing, I guess. But I mean, I'm not as mad at her for Maria and Carlos because they got her back.
Yeah, they did. They got them all back. Like that was very satisfying that they were all in for it, and because Ronnie had told them what happened, they were like, "Didn't that happen to us when we were kids?" Yeah, it did. Oh, now we know. So it was cool that they actually got them back at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Maria and Carlos in this episode. Like, we finally get to see them, like Maria actually got to do something for once, because she hasn't had, like, a spotlight episode since that one with her and Roddy Ann, or barely done anything in the show. So to see her and Carlos having this, like, the bickering as siblings, or just interacting as siblings, it felt like, here's season 2, we're gonna build on what we did in season 1 and expand on that. So to see that Carlos and Maria were, like, interacting as siblings, it felt like they were finally expanding on the characters more than what they did in season 1.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I loved, of course, Rodney and her friends, and Laird is there too, them camping out, and, them trying to say they're the longest, and, I really loved this episode. Like, it was, like, after the disappointment that was Ghosted, I'm like, come on, Casagrandes, don't fail me now. And I'm like, oh, that was great. Like, I loved that. That was a great season 2 opener. So I really enjoyed this episode.
The best part about Laird, he wasn't the butt of a joke.
Oh, yes! They listened to me! They listened to me complain about him being a butt of a joke. I'm so happy. Like, if he's gonna be part of the friend group, treat him like a friend and not a butt of a joke. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Justice for Laird. And Sidani got a little moment where Sid grabbed Roddy's hand, so I hear Burster screaming in the background somewhere, so that's my shout out to you, Burster. Always gotta have that Sidani moment, yeah. Any other final thoughts on Fails from the Crypt?
No, I just thought it was very strong for a Halloween episode. It broke some of the boundaries of typical Halloween plot lines.
Yeah, I definitely loved it more than New Haunts. Like, New Haunts was such a very forgettable episode, and it's hard to forget when they played on Nick so much in the Vampire Boogie, but this was so much better than that episode last year, so they definitely improved on that.
Definitely, yeah.
But now let's talk about an episode that wasn't improved on.
Oh no!
Here it is, folks.
I could have waited. I could have just not have to deal with this.
We have to deal with this. It is the episode Bad Cluck. A haunted chicken pesters the family. That's the smallest description I ever had, but yes, that is the official description. But Seren, because I can do this because it's my show and not yours, I can torture you by saying, I want you to go first. What do you think of this episode?
If I can quote my own tweet, this is the most godforsaken Halloween special ever.
Please
I wish it didn't exist.
Please elaborate.
I had the unfortunate honor, if you can call it that, of
privilege
sitting through before this recording session on my brand new TV and watching the episode again and counting how many cursed, demonizing things there were in 11 minutes.
Do you have a count of how many cursed things there are in 11 minutes?
Yes. 30 frickin' 2.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe you kept count of that.
A third of those were with Carlos becoming possessed by a ghost.
Oh my
chicken.
god, I lost my mind when he got possessed. Like, what the actual... Yeah, I can't curse on this show. I wish I could. Because, yeah, that curse words definitely need for this episode. It was the most... How do I even describe this episode? How do you describe this episode, Seren? How would you describe it?
The spawn of Satan.
That's a good word for it. Satan created this episode because, my goodness, what is this episode? Like, what were the writers thinking when they were sitting here like, hey guys, let's have an episode where a haunted chicken, possesses Carlos and, haunts the family, and then Sergio, by the way, is a mass murderer. He killed another bird, by the way, just need to remind you all that he killed somebody. They made Sergio the worst in this. Like, we all know Sergio's terrible, but my goodness, like, he killed somebody. He is a murderer. And he didn't care. Like, he was like, oh, well, I pooped on his car. I turned him over. I stole his money. Like,
I ruined his birthday.
Sergio, you are a J-E-R-K jerk. My God.
I used to like Sergio, but not anymore.
No! This episode painted him in the worst way, and we're never gonna look at him the same way again. It's like, I hate on Flip, of course, and that episode's probably not gonna get any better, but at least I can tolerate that Flip exists. Like, I'm just like, yeah, you're there. You haven't killed anybody. Not from I know of. Sergio killed somebody. That's not
I can't tolerate
good.
either of them exist.
Yeah, I know. So, like, now that we see this, we can't look at Sergio the same way, Casagrandes, even if you try to redeem him. If you try to redeem him, I guess I'll be on board, but it didn't... Why? Why? Of all the things for a Sergio-focused episode, it was this episode, and... Oh my God, I can't look at Sergio the same way again anymore after this. I mean... Go ahead, sorry.
The episode before it painted him and showed his age. He's an old fart, for lack of a better term. Then this one pointed him as a jerk and a murderer.
Yeah.
Or painted him as.
Yeah, like, we can't forgive that. He's a jerk. He stole somebody's money and he killed somebody. And it's like, oh no, it's fine. He apologized. Like, no. He did not apologize. He was forced to apologize by his family. He would just, like, not cared at all, Sergio's the worst. I'm sorry. Like, hashtag Sergio's the worst. I want to start this movement. But yeah, it just this episode was so messed up, man. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, and you know what? Here's another thing I'm mad about. Arturo coming back into this episode and doing nothing, and then just leaving. I just hate that Arturo exists only to just show up and never come back again. I hate that they never use him in episodes, It's just like, hey, Familia, I exist still, and then leaves,
Hey, Familia, I've got sauce.
Okay.
And I'm a chicken. Bye.
Bye! Like, please, Casagrandes, if you're going to have Arturo be a character, make him a character! And then, like, Mr. Chang showed up for 5 seconds to help Mr. Nakamura, and I'm thinking to myself, don't we have a family member that knows about the supernatural? Rosa? She should have done something instead of relying on everybody else for Hector to text everybody about the chicken. Shouldn't she have, like, had some potions or something to stop the chicken from, being around them? Why didn't she do anything about it?
Well, I mean, she knew enough to say that ghosts only stick around if they have unfinished business.
But she didn't say that until after they figured out that it was Sergio that was the problem. Because they didn't know why the ghost was here. But, like, during the parts where the ghost haunted them, all of a sudden we just got Arturo for no apparent reason, and Mr. Nakamura showed up for randomly, and Mr. Chang showed up randomly, and then finally Rosa was like, oh, they're here for unfinished business. Why did you say that before we had, like, to, like, waste time with other characters showing up and then just leaving, It made no sense to me.
I mean, I was glad to see Mr. Chang come back in a role that isn't a train conductor.
that's fair, but like it was odd because he said like, "Oh, my family and I use firecrackers or fireworks to blow up like something." And I'm thinking to myself, does Sid do that too? Does she know how to use fireworks? I don't know, but
Plot twist.
yeah, plot twist. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. But oh my god, this episode, man, I don't know what else to say. It was would you call it a bad episode or just a messed up episode? I don't know what to call it.
With just kind of with the gospel I've instilled of myself that the Casagrandes can have a truly bad episode. I'm going to say it was just extremely messed up and the spawn of Satan.
Yeah, I can't call it a bad episode because I don't think it was bad, I think it was just entertaining because of how messed up it was. I think it was just like, let's do a shock factor episode, like to see how the audience reacts to, by the way, Carlos pooping out an egg, and getting possessed by a chicken, and I just can't stop thinking about it. It's just like, this is a messed up episode, man, and I don't know what else to say.
The rest of the people in my house and my dog probably because I literally screamed when Carlos was possessed. They probably thought I was getting murdered.
I probably feel the same way. Their family runs in and is like, what happened? What happened? It's like, you don't want to know.
They don't. They really don't.
I just want to say this, Casagrandes. I'm glad that you try to experiment with something, but please, don't ever do it again. But I say that, and of course we're getting the Bobby Cat episode. I know it has a title. I keep calling it the Bobby Cat episode. We get the Bobby Cat episode this week, and that's gonna be a treat. I say.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. It just, we applaud you for trying something new, but don't ever do it again.
Anything but a cat.
Yeah, just
anything but a cat.
Just don't do a haunted chicken episode and a whatever character turns to a cat episode. Just try it once, cool. Don't ever do it again. We'll be fine, okay? You can just do normal stuff again. Don't do this ever again.
We can do without the being scarred for life.
Yeah, we're fine, we're cool. It's like, you tried something, great, don't ever do it again. Oh boy, yeah, I was gonna ask any other final thoughts on Bad Cluck, but you probably don't, because what else is there more to say?
Spawn of Satan.
Yeah, that's gonna be the title of my episode on my show, Spawn of Satan. That's what I'm titling Bad Cluck from now on. Alright, so that's all the new episodes that came out this week, and before we go, I wanted to ask you, Seren, since, of course, you started out as a Casagrande podcast, and I started out as a Casagrande podcast, mostly focused on the Casagrandes, but of course now we switched to both shows. But I want to ask you, because we just started into Season 2, and we're ending Season 1, like, next week or soon enough with Cursed, what have been your overall thoughts about the whole season of Season 1 of Casagrandes? Have you had, like, what's been your highlights, ups and downs? What are your overall thoughts on how Season 1 went to you as a whole?
Well, I'm going to make it this short and sweet. The highlights were, I'm going to count Friended. I'm going to count Friended in the first year or so of this, because it did set up the show. I enjoyed Friended. The Horoscope, which is coming up on its 1-year anniversary.
Yes.
And the downs, we just talked about the downs.
I mean, is there any other downs, or just that one?
Just that one, because as I said, I have instilled myself that because so far the writing has been incredible, and the way it's just kind of been handled, there can't be a bad episode of the Casagrande. There have been middle-of-the-road, mediocre episodes that I probably wouldn't go back to, but if it came on TV, I wouldn't skip it, kind of thing. But none outright bad, except for Bad Cluck, and that's not even outright bad. It's just nightmare fuel.
Yeah. what do you think? What do you think is your favorite episode of season 1, if you can think of one?
Off the top of my head, I would say, the horoscope.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be my pick. We all know why. Still a great episode. Yeah, like for myself, like as being one of the number one Casagrande fans, I feel like the Casagrandes has really lived up to the hype and expectations of being a show. Like I enjoyed season 1, but I agree. Like this year, like starting in the beginning of the year, we had some pretty dud episodes, I'd say, that we started out with. Like the summer episodes were kind of meh, some other episodes were kind of meh, and then they started picking up again. Like I feel like that's what season 1 was doing most of the time. We had highs and lows and highs and lows. Like they're like, here's a big, like, great episode, and then it's like, here's something mediocre, you know? Like they went up and down stuff. And of course we had the first special, Operation Dad, which was a highlight for me, but I still care about the special because Arturo stayed, which was a down for me. But of course, we're getting a big highlight, which is Curse, so that's going to be amazing. But yeah, I really liked season 1, but just from, besides whatever the heck bad Cluck was, Fails for the Crypt really showed me that season 2 is going to go far and beyond what season 1 was already. Let's just hope not every episode is like bad Cluck. That's for sure. Yeah.
And I have a couple. I looked at the list of episodes just so I make sure I don't miss anything.
Yeah.
Team effort wasn't up for me. I enjoyed seeing everyone together in that one.
Yeah.
And Mexican Makeover and Uptown Funk were both ups for me. The other down was New Roomy.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it.
Not a fan of that one.
I liked it. It was better than what I was expecting. I was just expecting to be a House Flip 2.0, but I hate that episode more than New Roomy. New Roomy is just okay. It's fine. I can live with it.
I mean, it's a down, but I mean, I give it if I were given number rating, still 5 out of 10.
Yeah, and of course the highlights of Lincoln and Lori showing up in the Casagrandes. Lori more than Lincoln because she's Bobby's girlfriend, but Lincoln's getting a second cameo, so I still win. But I'm hoping that Lincoln gets more than what he did in season 1 with Lori getting so many mentions because of course they're dating. But because like I predicted a very long time ago on my show that I thought we were gonna get a huge crossover mode with the Loud House of Casagrandes and the Casagrandes because of the buildup of it. I still think the highlight of like last year was like the ending of Croaked. Like we saw Carl end up at the Loud House. We all just freaked out. It was like the most craziest moment of seeing that ending. And then we got the horoscope with Lincoln and Lori with Flea Market. And then it's like now we're getting Cursed, this big crossover moment in the spinoff. It felt like they were building up to that. And hopefully
a 1 year build up.
Oh yeah. I mean, if it's in November and it's close to the anniversary of Horoscope, that's gonna make it even better. I'm just saying, So
I looked up. Yeah. Horoscope aired November 12th.
No, November 9th.
Oh, did it?
Yes.
They haven't. I saw November 12th.
Nope. November 9th.
I might have looked at the wrong thing.
Check on the wiki. It's November 9th. I should know because I'm starting Ronniecoln Week that same week.
Okay, yeah, I was looking at the wrong episode then.
I know my
November 9th.
Well. Yeah, November 9th, yep. So, if we get, the Curse special around, because I know we had Last Thanksgiving aired November 12th of 2018, or it was November 11th. I think it was November 11th. It aired in 2018. So, if Curse airs around the same time as Horoscope and Last Thanksgiving, that's going to make it even better, I'm just saying, so...
It will probably air the 6th or the 13th. If we're doing Fridays.
It can't be the 13th because Nickelodeon's airing that astronaut show that day, so it can't be that day.
Okay, yeah, then will most likely be the 6th.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they would have told us by now, but we haven't heard anything yet, so hopefully it's super early and it doesn't get leaked out in another country, but I'm still afraid it will happen. But yeah, it's going to be exciting. I've really enjoyed what the Casagrandes gave us for season 1, but they really need to learn from season 1, and hopefully they continue to develop more of the characters, do more stuff with the world building, and, You know, like with Fails for the Crypt, they already gave Maria and Carlos more focus as a pairing with being siblings and stuff. I love that, and seeing more of Ronnie and his friend group together. There's a lot more they can do with season 2, you know.
Yeah, and especially a lot more when you're not making Laird the butt of jokes.
Yeah, like is there anything that you want from season 2 that you've thought about, or you haven't thought about anything yet for season 2?
Since season 2 is like very fresh, I really haven't thought about it. I just want to see more unique pairings instead of just the same things over and over. That's one thing I will say.
Yeah, like I was listening back to like an old episode of mine where a guest of mine talked about Monster Cash, and if we mentioned that we wanted a Carl and Adelaide episode, we thought, oh, that's never gonna happen, and then it happened twice, by the way. How ironic is that? So we'll probably get another episode about them maybe again, you know. And I know Burster's probably yelling at me, we need another Sonati episode. Yeah, we need another episode just about them. Like, we need another like 2 clubs or something about their friendship, because we haven't had that in a while, because obviously we get Click and McCloud episodes. We need to get just Sonati episodes and just Lincoln and her, you know, Ronnie and her friends, you know.
Right, and maybe another CJ and Ronnie N episode.
I heard that they're going to be doing more CJ episodes, because from that live stream they did with the Casagrandes talking about the production of the show, I know they said they're going to try to do more CJ episodes, so...
Good.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who else needs one. Carlota needs more episodes.
Yeah, we haven't had one of those in...
My friend...
Wow.
Yeah, forever. Like, my friends don't care for Carlota. They think she's a blank slate, and if we get a better episode than the one we got with her, they definitely need to develop her more, because, yeah, I feel like she just feels like a blank slate right now.
Yeah.
And
she
Arturo
does need more development.
And Arturo. Make Arturo a character, please. Please do
Maybe
something.
season 2 will do that, but honestly, if Bad Cluck felt like a waste.
Yeah. I felt that way with season 1. Like, there are so many episodes that had season 1 where, you know, you could have done something different than this, and I'm feeling that way right now about the Flip and Lisa episode. I'm like, guys, we really didn't need this episode. Just do something else. Why do we need it? I don't know. The same with the Bobby Cat episode. We don't need this episode. Do something else. Why do we need it? It feels like a waste.
Off topic, but I just kind of opened my animation Twitter to look at something real quick.
Yeah.
And someone retweeted a tweet, and it's about top animated crossover that should happen. They have Loud House on there with SpongeBob.
Oh.
No.
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 No. The only crossovers we need are Loud House and Casagrandes. That's all we need. It's all the crossover we need. We don't need another show. We just need Loud House and Casagrandes. We're cool. But
no.
But yeah, Seren, I want to thank you so much for coming back on my show again. It was such a pleasure to have you on for the 3rd time on my show. So thank you so much.
It was fun to be on, and I will say I'm working on a review of Winter Special at the moment, the book, and I would like to have you on for something like that.
Oh, really? I would be honored, because I haven't done a review of that book yet, because I just got it, and I read it like, the thing is I got to see it like a month ago, so I had to kind of put it down. So I will try to look at that and actually have a review for my next show, because I totally forgot about that. And the new chapter book, which came out, by the way, so remind me.
Yeah, I got to read it.
Yeah, I would definitely love to be on for that, you know, so definitely would do that. And before we say see you next time, I'll ask Seren to do some social media. I want to announce my next guest I'm going to be having on CasaLoud Chats, as I'm promoting on another podcast. No, sorry. My next guest will be Yahomie JD1 on Twitter, which will be my next first-time guest on my show, talking about blinded by science and band together and what's love got to do with it, and dial M for mustard, which will be fun to do.
Envy you.
What's that?
I don't envy you.
Hey, listen, you gotta do a Casa Live when we talk about all these episodes combined. So,
oh god dang it.
Remember, we're dragging you down into the hole with us.
Oh no.
hey, you did it yourself, man. You know, you could have skipped a week, but you said, hey, let's do all the episodes. And it's like, you really want to talk about the Flip episode and the Cat episode and the Bad Cook episode all together in one episode? Really?
Yes, because it will give us 3 hours probably of just cursed comments.
Oh boy. I wish we were talking about curse instead of actually cursing.
Yeah.
So, is there any social media or anything you want to plug on my show? Or even your show, because technically you're plugging your own show on my show anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I basically, same thing, youtube.com/SerenCSG. I upload daily over there, or at least if I can. And I have a new animation Twitter at Seren Santiago, where I just put all my animation opinions, retweet animation stuff. That doesn't typically fit on my main account on Twitter, because that's more for music and my radio show stuff. So I'm trying to keep it separate, even though I do a very bad job of that. But yeah, Seren CSG and Seren Santiago on Twitter, and Seren CSG on YouTube.
Sweet. And of course, if you're not subscribed to the CasaLoud Chillout Sessions podcast, do that right now. I mean, if you're probably listening to it on this show, you're probably listening to it right now. But if you're listening to my show on it, then go subscribe, because if you're not, I'm making you do it. and as for me, if you have any questions about my podcast or want to discuss my podcast with me, you can contact me over at XSunnyClips on Twitter or at my podcast's Twitter, CasaLoud Chats. And I'll see you all next time on CasaLoud Chats.